Hi guys, and welcome back to DIY Ideas, and welcome to a new shawl tutorial. I'm going to show you a really nice shawl for today with a puff stitch variation. It's kind of like a switch off between the puff stitch and the V stitch. This is great and nice and loose for spring that's coming up. I used this color fade wool here with this, starting with this light gray, then a pastel pink, and then it merges into this violet tone. What exactly this wool is like, which hook I used, I'm going to show you now. The shawl is about 160 centimeters long. Alright guys, so here we are with the Mega Color Fade wool from Rico Design. This is a gray, light pink, and then a violet color. It's 100 grams, 250 meters long, 80% polyacrylic, 20% wool. And we have this here for size 6 to 7 crocheting hooks, and I'm going to use my size 6 here. You have kind of on the outside here a little visual of what it will look like. It starts with the gray and then goes over to the violet. The thread is actually 3 little threads twisted around themselves. And those kind of like switch off one by one. The part that I just pulled out here is 1 pink thread and 2 violet threads. And so that's how the colored fades kind of work. I know that there's not really any knots in here, but yeah, we'll actually look at that while we're crocheting. I'm going to take out the middle here and then start with the light gray silvery tone. Really nice. And let's see. I pulled out the middle here, and I'm going to start here with the magic circle. And so for that, I am putting the wool into my hand here, cross it in front, and take my hook to pull the thread through. And then we have our circle. Okay. And we start here with 5 chain stitches, 3, 4, and 5. And then we go back into the ring and go around here and add a double crochet. And then we can actually pull the ring closed already. I have 5 chain stitches here and a double crochet. The first 3 chain stitches that I crocheted are the height of a double crochet. Then we have 2 for distance, and then another double crochet. That's our first V. Then we turn it all around and start with the second row. For that, we start again with 5 chain stitches. That's how every row starts, with 5 chain stitches. 3, 4, 5. All right. Then we go back into the circle kind of here. And we add a double crochet. Here also we're creating a V, 3 for height, 2 for distance. Then we do our first puff stitch. So we go around, pull up 3 on the hook, 5 on the hook, and do it again, 7 on the hook. Then we take the thread and pull it through all 7 loops on the hook. Okay. Then we have our first puff stitch. And now we will add another V here into the first V from the beginning. Okay. Through 2, double crochet, done. 2 chain stitches and another double crochet so that our V is an actual V. Okay, so what do we do here in row number 2? We did a V. The first one is 5 chain stitches and a double crochet, then a puff stitch here in the middle, and then we have another V, the second V, and that is 2 double crochets and a chain stitch in the middle. And then we continue with row number 3. We start here again with 5 chain stitches. Then we turn it around, and then here we add a double crochet with which we finish off the V. We do that into the V of the row before. Into that same V, we're also adding the puff stitch. So 3 on the hook, 5 on the hook, 7 on the hook, and then that's that. Then, okay, continue here. We have the puff stitch here off the row before. On top of that, we add the V. Okay, so we go into the stitch here on the very top of the puff stitch, then a double crochet, 2 chain stitches, and here another double crochet. Okay, this is our V here, right on top of the puff stitch of the row before. Then we're back on the outer edge. Here we have the V that is the 5 chain stitches and the double crochet. Into there we add a chain stitch. Okay. Take some more wool. And then here on the very edge we add another V. Okay. 2 double crochets and 2 chain stitches in between. And then row number 3 is also done. So what did we do? We started with a V. The first one is 5 chain stitches and the double crochet. Then we have our first puff stitch here of the row before. On top of the puff stitch of the row before, we added a V. And then we came back to the other side. We added a puff stitch and a V. On the outside, we always have the puff stitches. And yeah, let's continue. We start again with 5 chain stitches. Okay, 5. Turn it around. Then the V. Then we add a puff stitch because we're currently in the V. Then here we have 5 or 6 on the hook. So, okay, now we have 7. Okay. Then here we are at the puff stitch. This is where we add the V. This is already great for the next row. Set up. V is done. And then here we have the V of the row before. We add a puff stitch. Okay, 7 all the way through. And here you can see at the very beginning we had the V centrally, then the puff stitch, then the V again, and now I'm doing the puff stitch again on top of the V of the row before. That's how we will keep doing this. On other sides it'll keep going, keep growing, because we always start with a V and we end with a V. Okay, now we have the puff stitch. Then next up we will do the V on top of the puff stitch of the row before. Go into here, through 2, 2 chain stitches, and the V is done. And we get to the outer area. So this is the V of the row before. There we again add a puff stitch. 7 all the way through. And then here at the very end we add another V. Okay. All right. Then here let's summarize this row as well. So we started with a V, then the puff stitch, then the puff stitch of the row before, so a V on top. Centrally we have the puff stitch here, then the V, then the puff stitch, and here on the outside the V again. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. And here centrally you can really see how it develops really nicely and how the rows develop. I'm going to continue here and I'll give you an update. Alright guys, so here's my update. I have used the whole gray part, as you can see here below. We have this complete then slowly we had the first pink thread coming in. And then the second one came in this part here where it's getting much pinker. You can see it mostly kind of here because you can see this is still 2 grays and 1 pink, and then this is 2 pink, 1 gray. And then now we're here at the very top, at the point where the last gray is, you know, merging into a pink one. So you can see here the area where it's actually changing. This is exactly where it's changing. You can see it's a little more puffy here. So it's not really a knot, but rather, I don't know, it's just kind of like, looks like they touched it a lot. And then it continues with 3 pink threads. And so I am at the point here where it is completely pink, and then it continues to get more purple. Yeah. I'm going to continue a few more stitches here, and then I will finish it off. Okay, so here we are, double crochet, and so this is the next V. So now we're adding a puff stitch onto it. Then we have the puff stitch of the row before, we add a V. And here you can already see the difference here really well to the row before, where there was still a gray thread, but now it's, you know, fully pink now. All right, guys. So I'm now at the end of the ball of yarn. As you can see here, I have a little bit left, but not enough for another row. So I'm just going to cut this off. The shawl has about, the longest side here is about 1.60 meters long. We have this big part here in the violet, and it goes all the way over. And then here we kind of go back, and we have it here on top of the gray part. I'm going to pull this big. I have still my hook in here. But yeah, we can just pull it tight, and we can cut it off and then hide this thread. We still have the starting thread at the bottom here also. We will also hide this. And then the scarf or the shawl is actually done. I think this pattern turned out really, really nicely. Nice and loose, but it's still, you know, has some texture, and it's super cozy. You can see I'm kind of scrunching it up, scrunching it together just to see what it looks like when it's actually wrapped around your neck. I really think the colors look super great and are perfect for spring. I really hope that you guys liked watching this video. If you did, then please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time here again at DIY Ideas. Bye guys!